Good morning, boys and girls. How are you today? Happy Tuesday. Let's get started right away here. I'm sure you are ready to get some work done on your research. I hope that yesterday you were successful in navigating the different websites and took some mental notes of things that were important to you and things that you would like to include in your note taking for today. So again, as a reminder, your work this week is the background info for your story writing that you will be doing next week. In fact, it's not going to necessarily be a story. Well, it is a story, but if it's going to be fictional journal writing. So writing as you are a young boy or girl traveling to America. So at the start of this page, it looks quite similar, same image, but just a reminder of these are your 4 categories that you're focusing your research on, okay? And so below here are the links. So you don't have to go back to yesterday's document to find the links for the different resources that we've collected, okay? And again, you'll have an opportunity, I'm going to show you in a minute, to add whatever it is that you would like that you found very interesting or useful, but that I've provided you with some guiding questions. And guiding questions are basically questions that guide us. There's so much information, and sometimes it could be hard to decide what it is to really write down. So what I've done for you, and within each category, is kind of giving you a few questions to think about and maybe search for. It helps to give our research purpose. But as you'll see from bullet number 3 here, you could also add anything else that might not be answered in a guiding question that you think will be important or you find interesting. I'm not going to go through these again, but this is just like yesterday. If you needed a reminder of how to navigate these, I would just go back to yesterday's document, okay? So each page is a category. So our first category is reasons. And here are some of our guiding questions. Why did they leave their country? Okay, now this could be general to any European country that immigrated to America, but obviously as you're researching is looking for things specific to your the country that you chose. I would say the PowerPoints are probably where you're gonna get your most specific information for your countries. What were the reasons people had for leaving their country? And was it by choice or were they forced? Okay, and here's your note-taking page. Again, if you find something else that you find valuable, we'll be adding to this actually. Tomorrow, Miss Labrini will be doing a lesson specifically on some reasons for the 3 countries that we're studying, and you might want to add on to that at that point. So for journey and process, came up with quite a few questions. How long was the journey? What supplies would you bring on the trip? If any, you know, some families didn't bring much more than what was on their that they could carry. Did they often travel with family or alone? It's an interesting one. You would think you would go all together, but many didn't, and you wonder why that was the case. Did some passengers have better accommodations, like having the opportunity to move around, get on the boat first, get off the boat first, and when they got to America? So certainly there would be some accommodations. What if someone got hurt or sick on the journey? Were there common illnesses? And what problems did they face on the journey? Now I realize I don't have any guiding questions specifically to the process, but this would be the area where you would talk about Ellis Island a little bit too, if you wanted to, but that's also with arrival. So this is just the process of the journey, okay? When they left their homes, what did they have to do? Was it easy to do? Were they close to where they had to board the ship? Okay, again, if you find any other information, you can do that, plenty of space. Finance and costs. You know, what financial problems did people face? Was it too expensive for some people and families? And did some people have better opportunities as far as jobs and um, finding and getting established? And the very last one would be our arrival and job opportunities. What was it like? I will fix that. When you arrived, what did you do? Right? So you got off the boat, some waited maybe, got off the boat, what do you do now? So what was it like? What would happen if they were sick once they arrived? So we talked about being sick on the boat, but what happens if you're sick when you get off the boat, the ship? Did families get separated from each other? Why? I'll add a question mark. Actually, I can fix that right now. And what was the other one? What would happen if, what was it like when you arrived? What did you do? Okay. How did you get a job? What jobs were available? And did they have to change jobs and opportunities when they arrived? So maybe they had a particular occupation in their native country and had to switch. Why did they do that? Again, these are guiding questions. I'm not asking you to find the answer to all of them. I'm just asking you to use them to help you with your direction of your research. And then there are just some other kinds of guiding questions, things that maybe don't fit into those 4 categories. When did immigration to America for your country begin? So remember we talked about yesterday the statistic charts. Perhaps you can find when most people from your country were coming here. How did Americans who were living here feel about the immigration movement? You know, so thinking about, were they mistreated? Were they welcomed? Was it a mixture of both? And that's kind of important, even thinking about your writing for next week, in the sense that, you know, are you going to create a character that has a good experience coming to America, or one that's sort of bumpy? Were immigrants treated poorly and unfairly? Did many immigrants go back to their home country? Maybe why? I'm sure there's lots of reasons why they might. What was it like? What was life like for families in the early days of their new life in America? And did people from the same country live together or near each other, and why? So if they came to New York, if they came to Alcyon, they more than likely established themselves in New York City. So did they live together? Not necessarily in the same house or tenement, but neighborhoods. And why would they do that? All right, and that's it for today. Again, hopefully you had an opportunity to really take a look at those websites yesterday, because if you did, you're going to be in a great place for today. Good luck, have fun, and again, you have the choice to either print this and jot your notes down, which personally I think might be a helpful way to do this process. But if you want to keep a tab open and go and toggle back and forth, you can do that too. You decide. Okay? Have a great day. Happy research. Enjoy. And I hope that you learn a whole bunch. Have a great day, boys and girls.